At 5:21 in the evening, on June the 12th, 2026, a single message landed at one of the most valuable companies on the planet. Within hours, the most powerful artificial intelligence ever released to the public software that hundreds of millions of people were using that very day went completely dark. It didn't crash. It wasn't hacked. It was switched off. On purpose. Because the United States government told the company to do it, and the company complied. This is the story of the day. A government reached out and flipped a kill switch on the future, and underneath it sits a question that should make every one of us pay attention. When the most important technology of our lifetime can be turned off by a single order, who actually controls it? You? The company that built it? Or the state? Let's rewind to what was actually switched off. The company is Anthropic. Days earlier, it had released its two most advanced AI models yet, one called Fable 5, the other Mythos 5. These weren't toys. They were, by most accounts, the most capable AI systems money could access. The kind of tools that write code, run businesses, and quietly sit behind apps used by hundreds of millions of people around the world. And then, in a single evening, all of it stopped. Not just in one country, for everyone. Anthropic disabled access to Fable 5 and Mythos 5 for every customer on Earth. Sit with that for a second. Picture the most popular product a company has ever made. Its crown jewel, the thing customers were lining up to pay for, and the company itself walking over to the wall and pulling the plug. Worldwide. Overnight. Companies do not do that lightly. They do it when something very, very serious is happening behind the scenes. So what happened? According to Anthropic, at 5:21 p.m. Eastern Time, it received a notification from the U.S. government. The government had become aware of a method to jailbreak the models, a way to slip past the safety guardrails built into the AI. And citing national security authorities, it issued an export control directive. In plain English, the government ordered Anthropic to cut off access for any foreign national, anyone who wasn't American, whether they were sitting in Beijing or in downtown Boston. Now, here's the practical problem. How do you build a wall, instantly, that lets in 300 million Americans but blocks every non-citizen using your software across the globe? You can't. Not in an evening. So, to comply, Anthropic did the only thing it could. It shut the whole thing off. For everybody. And this is where the story stops being about technology and becomes a story about power and money, because behind that single directive sits one of the most important shifts of the decade. Let's talk about the trigger. Why national security? Why would a chatbot be treated like a weapon? An administration official told the news outlet Axios that the Commerce Department moved after another company claimed it had managed to jailbreak Mythos. That claim, that someone could bypass the safeguards, alarmed the administration. The fear, as reported, was that these models could be pushed to do things like hunt for hidden vulnerabilities in software. In the wrong hands, the worry goes. An AI that can find the cracks in the world's computer systems isn't a productivity tool. It's a cyber weapon. So the government did something that, just a few years ago, would have sounded like science fiction. It treated a piece of commercial software the same way it treats fighter jets, advanced chips, and missile technology. It put it under export control. And that phrase, export control, is the key that unlocks this entire story. Hold on to it. We're going to come back to it, because it's where the real money mechanics live. But first, let's sit with the cost of what Anthropic just did. Because this is the part most coverage glosses over. When you switch off your flagship product, you don't just lose a feature, you lose revenue. Instantly. Every business that had wired Fable 5 into its operations, every app, every startup, every paying customer, suddenly had a dead engine. Some of them, overnight, had to scramble to a competitor. And in the AI world, trust is everything. If your provider can go dark without warning, why would you ever build your company on top of it? So Anthropic took a financial hit, a trust hit, and a competitive hit, all at once, to comply with a single government order. That tells you how little choice it believed it had. And yet, here's the crack in the official story, the thing that doesn't quite add up. Anthropic didn't go quietly. It pushed back, publicly. It said the so-called jailbreak was narrow, not some universal master key. It described it as specific prompts asking the model to analyze a codebase and fix flaws, ordinary developer work, capabilities, Anthropic pointed out, that already existed in other AI models on the market. Think about what that means. If the dangerous capability is already out there, in rival models, available right now, then switching off Fable 5 doesn't make the world any safer. The genie's already out of the bottle. So why the global kill switch? Why reach for the national security sledgehammer over something the company itself calls narrow? and already available elsewhere? That question is where the real story begins. Because once you pull on that thread, this stops looking like a story about one jailbreak, and it starts looking like a story about a brand new kind of power, the power to switch off the future, and the quiet war over who gets to hold it. Let's follow the money. To understand why a government would switch off a commercial AI for the entire planet, you have to stop thinking about it as software and start thinking about it as a resource, like oil, like steel, like the rare metals buried inside your phone. For the last few years, the United States has been fighting a quiet economic war, not with tanks, but with access. Its main weapon? The advanced computer chips that power artificial intelligence. America restricted the sale of its most powerful chips to rival nations, especially China, betting that whoever controls the hardware controls the future. It's called export control, the exact same tool used for weapons. The Fable 5 shutdown is that same war, taking one enormous step forward. Because now, it isn't just the chips under control, it's the intelligence itself, the model, the brain. For the first time, the US treated a finished AI model the way it treats a stealth bomber, something too powerful to let cross a border freely. And that reframes everything. The jailbreak may have been the spark, but the machine it lit was already built, a system that views the most advanced AI as a national asset, a matter of state, something a company may build but does not fully control. Sit with that. Anthropic spent enormous sums, billions, and years of research building these models, and in a single evening, one government memo could switch them off worldwide. So who, really, owns Fable 5? The company whose name is on it? Or the state that can flip the switch? And here's the part that tells you this wasn't a one-off. This clash had been building for months. Earlier in 2026, this same company found itself in another fight with the government. The Pentagon moved to ban Anthropic's AI, reportedly after the company refused to remove its own guardrails, the ones that stopped its AI from being used for autonomous weapons and domestic surveillance. Anthropic said no. It would not let its technology become a weapon that picks its own targets, or a tool to watch citizens. That case went to court, and a federal judge in San Francisco, Rita Lynn, blocked the Pentagon's ban, calling it, in striking words, classic, illegal First Amendment retaliation. Retaliation. A judge said, out loud, that the government looked like it was punishing a company for its values. So when you line it all up, the Pentagon ban, the courtroom fight, and now a worldwide shutoff over a narrow jailbreak, a pattern emerges. This is a tug of war. On one side, a company insisting that the rules for switching off a tool used by hundreds of millions should be, in its words, transparent, fair, clear, and grounded in technical facts. It said plainly that this shutdown does not adhere to those principles. On the other side, a government that has decided advanced AI is simply too dangerous and too strategic to leave fully in private hands. Both sides, notice, claim to be protecting you. One says it's guarding national security. The other says it's defending the rule of law and the hundreds of millions who rely on the tool. We're not here to tell you who's right. We're here to show you the mechanism, because the mechanism is what shapes the next decade. So what does this actually mean for the rest of us? 3 things. First, fragility. The entire modern economy is racing to build itself on top of AI. Apps, banks, hospitals, your favorite startup. The Fable 5 shutdown just proved the foundation can be yanked out from under all of it, overnight, by forces that have nothing to do with whether the technology works. That's a risk no spreadsheet had priced in. Second, the concentration of power. A government that can switch off the world's most powerful AI now holds a lever over the global economy that almost nobody voted on. And the companies building these models are learning, in real time, that they are not entirely the masters of their own creations. Third, and this is the one to watch, the money. The AI industry is valued in the trillions. Trillions, built on the assumption that these models keep running, keep improving, keep being available. Every time a government proves it can hit the off switch, it injects a new kind of risk into that entire mountain of value. Investors notice, competitors notice, and the quiet race to never depend on a single model in a single country just accelerated. Anthropic says it's working to restore access as fast as it can. By the time you watch this, Fable 5 may well be back online. But that's not really the point. The point is that a line was crossed. The world now knows that a commercial AI, used by hundreds of millions, can be switched off by a single order. And that knowledge doesn't disappear when the model comes back. We've spent this whole story watching a fight over one piece of software. But the real fight is far bigger, and it's only beginning. It's about whether the most powerful technology ever invented belongs to the people who build it, the governments who can ban it, or somewhere uneasily in between. Here's what we'd leave you with. Power, in the end, isn't about who owns a thing, it's about who can take it away. And on the evening of June the 12th, 2026, we all learned exactly who holds that power over artificial intelligence. This is educational, not a single word of financial advice, just the mechanics of money and power, laid out so you can see them. The claims on every side are still being argued, in public and in court, and we've tried to report them, not pick a winner. So now we want to hear from you. When a government can switch off an AI that hundreds of millions of people rely on, is that protecting us? Or is it a power no one should hold? Tell us below. And if this is the kind of story you want more of, subscribe, because the next time someone flips a switch this big, you'll want to understand exactly what just happened.